Good morning, students. We have been reading the chapter about Albert Einstein, A Truly Beautiful Mind. So far, I had explained you 9 paragraphs. So, continuing from there, from the 10th paragraph. So far, we read that how Einstein started working in a patent office, and he also continued working on his own theories, and then the big revolution with the formula E equal to mc square he evolved. Now from there, let's continue. While Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling, disturbed, starting to fall. Albert had wanted to marry Mileva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. She thought Mileva, who was 3 years older than her son, was too old for him. She was also bothered by Mileva's intelligence, as Mileva was equally intelligent as Einstein, and she also was working in the same field. She is a book like you, his mother said. So, because of this, Einstein put the wedding off, means he postponed it, he cancelled it for the time being. Then the pair finally married in January 1903 and had 2 sons. But a few years later, the marriage faltered, the relationship became weak. Mileva, meanwhile, was losing her intellectual ambition and becoming an unhappy housewife. Busy in the household life, she was not happy with it. And after years of constant fighting, they could not keep it up, they could not keep it well. They had always been fighting, so the couple finally divorced in 1919. And then Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. Yes, then Einstein married his cousin Elsa. Elsa was his cousin. Actually, uh, Elsa's father and Albert's father were cousins. And in fact, Elsa's mother and Stein's mother were also sisters. But somehow the situation became such that they married. And now Einstein's new personal chapter coincided with his rise to world fame. But some coincidence happened when his fame was spreading all over the world. In 1915, he had published his general theory of relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity, a new explanation of gravity. Then an eclipse of the sun in the year 1919 brought proof that it was accurate. In the year 1919, when solar eclipse happened, those calculations were proved correct. Then Einstein had correctly calculated in advance the extent to which the light from fixed stars would be deflected through the sun's gravitational field. So that all calculations done by Einstein, that how much light will be uh, deflected through the sun's gravitational field, that all calculation occurred accurate. The newspapers proclaimed his work as a scientific revolution. Einstein received the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. He was showered with honors and invitations from all over the world and lauded by the press, appreciated by the press, the media. Then, when the Nazis came to power in Germany in 1933, Einstein emigrated to the United States. he shifted to USA. 5 years later, the discovery of nuclear fission in Berlin had American physicists in an uproar. When in Germany, in Berlin, their scientists discovered a scientific reaction called a nuclear fission that came a very upsetting situation in American scientists. Many of them had fled from fascism just as Einstein had, and now they were afraid the Nazis could build and use an atomic bomb using that chemical reaction which is called nuclear fission. All were afraid that now these Nazis can build and use the atomic bomb. At the urging of colleagues, Einstein wrote a letter to the American President Franklin D. Roosevelt. So, when all of his friends and colleagues asked Einstein to do this, then Einstein wrote a letter to the President Franklin Roosevelt on 2nd August 1939, in which he warned a single bomb of this type exploded in a port might very well destroy the whole port together with some of the surrounding territory. It is a very dangerous bomb which has a big amount of destructive power. His words did not fail to have an effect. It affected, but not in the manner as he hoped. What happened? The Americans developed the atomic bomb in a secret project of their own and dropped it on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. Second World War, you all know the atom bombs used by USA. So Einstein was deeply shaken. He was broken by the extent of the destruction. A lot of people died, lot of destruction happened. So that deeply affected Einstein. This time he wrote a public missive to the United Nations, a public letter appeal to the people, to the United Nations, UNO. In it, he proposed the formation of a world government. He suggested that there should be a world government. Unlike the letter to Roosevelt, this one made no impact, but this had no effect. But over the next decade, Einstein got ever more involved in politics, agitating for an end to the arms build-up. He was doing agitations, campaigns against the army weapons, and using his popularity to campaign for peace and democracy. Now, as he was already very much popular all over the world, so he was using his popularity to campaign for the world peace and democracy. Finally, when Einstein died in 1955 at the age of 76, he was celebrated as a visionary, a person having a large thinking, intellectual visions, and a world citizen as much as a scientific genius. So, with this, the chapter completes, and tomorrow I will be sending you the question answers to. Okay, that's it for now. Thank you. Bye bye.